Hey friends, I believe I'm recording. This is if you want to make a form like you would use at Connecting Point to automate uh, form points that are selected, this is how you would do that. So before I get into building out my form, like let's say I'm building out my form and there are some serving opportunities. Like on Connecting Point, you can serve in a lot of different ways. Let's say I want to automate the process for anyone who wants to serve on the coffee ministry. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a group for my coffee leaders, my coffee volunteers. So I think I already have a group. Well, I'll just make a new one. So let's say I would add a new group. So there's where I would label it. What type is it? You don't have to do this area, but you can. You can click serving here. Then I go over to the when and where. I don't usually worry with any of this. And under administrative, I don't think I mess with any of this either. So I've just made my coffee group. You may also want to edit the participant list so that you can add a leader of the coffee ministry. So I can click change the main leader and I can change it to Mark Rice. He's the coffee leader at the Loveland campus. But let's say I would click Mark Rice and then he would become the main leader. And then I can actually click on my name and remove myself from the group. But this is how you would set up the group. After you have set up the group, your next step is setting up your process queue. So now I'm here in process queues and I would go to all active groups and as you can see, I have micro church process queues, people taking their next step in faith, people starting to serve. So I'm going to go under start serving. And as you can see, we have a coffee team here, but I'm going to make another one. I'm going to click add new queue over here on the right-hand side, coffee test group. All right, so let's say I added a new queue. Now I'm going to scroll down to the group and I'm going to add a queue manager. And this is whoever is going to be following up with this person. So in our case at Loveland campus, it would be Mark Rice. For you, it's, whoever is the leader over that ministry. But let's say I made Mark the queue manager. I don't really want to be the queue manager, so I'm going to remove that. But after that, I'll go into edit queue. I'll then go over to, I don't think I do anything in details. I go over to automation, and what I want is after I've followed up with this person, I want them to automatically be put into the coffee test serving group. And so I'm going to put group coffee test serving group, and I'm going to hit save. Over here, you can also, if you have like a next step, like this is a 3-step process, you can mess around with that as well. But all I want to do is put them in this coffee serving group. So then I'll hit save. Now that I've created my group, I've created my process queue. I would click on the forms, which is all over here on the side. And I'll go to Connecting Point because this is what we're playing around with here. I'll go to edit form up here at the top. And then I'm going to scroll down to the start serving section. So right now I have all of these answers right here and all of my automations are right here. They're all being automated to a different process queue. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another option and I'm going to put in coffee test group 2. I'll hit enter. All right, now that that's in there, I'm going to go down to automation. I'm going to hit edit, add automation, scroll all the way to the bottom. I'm going to hit add another automation. Now I'm going to select the one I just made, which would be coffee test group 2. And I'm going to choose a process queue as the action that will be taken. And then I'm going to start typing in the process queue, coffee test group. And I'm going to hit save. Now, when somebody fills out the form and they hit the box Coffee Test Group 2, it should automatically start a process queue over to the queue manager, and it should give them a notification. Once it gives them a notification, they can follow up with the person. Once they've followed up with the person, it will automatically put them in the group, the coffee test group. So that is a high-level overview of how to do this. One more thing I'll say is that somebody at your church still has to assign specific process queues, and I'll give you an example of that. So I'm kind of the person, as you can see over here on the left-hand side, it says 0 unassigned, 0 unassigned, 0 unassigned. Let me see if I can, yeah. So when somebody is assigned to be on the facilities and maintenance team, for example, I'll click the 0 unassigned thing, and someone's information will show up right here. And I'll click on them, and then I'll hit other actions, and then I'll hit assign, and I will assign them to the queue manager. Otherwise, they will be in the queue, but that queue manager will not be notified. So basically, every week when somebody comes to Connecting Point, I go to their specific page through the People tab, or I come over here and I just assign everybody that way. So I hope that makes sense. I hope this is helpful. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks.